Dela writes, my MVVs, welcome.
Confusion rocks the palace. Did Ebony admit pregnancy or deny it in front of Obalufe and chiefs? Did she admit? Did she deny it? That's the question everybody is asking. Oh, is she really pregnant? Like, was all of this just a game? Like, was there any truth in anything that she said? Is what everyone is asking. You know, they say that, half truth does not save a person. It is half truth that destroys them. That is exactly the heat, that is going on right now. It is the heat shaking the palace right now. The matter of Ebony's pregnancy has turned into a riddle. And when the Iwarife elders, the Obalufe and other chiefs sat her down, the atmosphere was so tense you could cut it with a knife. Everyone was waiting for Ebony's word. Was she going to admit or was she going to deny? But instead of clarity, she managed to confuse the entire house even more. As we are hearing, if the information is correct, we heard that the Obalufe himself, being the prime minister, and the second in command to the Great Lion, was the one that led the questioning with a calm but heavy voice. He asked Ebony directly, daughter, are you pregnant? Okay, are you pregnant? Now, this was not a question of insult. It was a matter of truth that the entire council needed to know, because the Great Lion's dignity, the palace reputation, and the sanctity of the royal throne were all on the line. But Ebony, instead of giving a straight answer, danced around the matter. At first, she shed tears, saying people were mocking her, that she was being humiliated, and that it was unfair to make her go through such public ridicule. The chiefs listened, but they were not moved by tears, because they know the throne cannot be managed on emotion alone. Then she said something that threw them into deeper confusion. The child I'm carrying is, if I say I am pregnant, is the child not for you people? Immediately she said that. Some of the elders nodded, but others raised their brow. To them, that was not an admission, neither was it a denial. It was a statement carefully constructed to protect herself while still keeping everyone in suspense. They are asking you, are you pregnant? Like, we need to know, because this whole thing, it's not as if Ebony. And meanwhile, for those of you who continue to come to the comment section and you ask, is that first child his or what? Please, I never had that discussion. I hope you remember that I never went into that discussion, because how is it possible that a sane person will sit down, before her camera and be talking about the paternity of another person's child? It is indecent, and so I don't do those kind of things, okay? So this is not about paternity. I don't know. How I have never had that discussion. Didn't you see the way he carried their child? Didn't you see the love from his eyes to his child? So I don't know. I don't want to go into that kind of discussion, please. I love you guys, Dela, right? Okay, that's not what we are talking about. I saw the question where some people were asking, is it really his child? Is it not his child? And all. Absolutely. Why wouldn't he be his child? You think that it's easy like that? I don't know, or maybe I don't know. Now, going back to what we are talking about. She did not admit to or deny. She just said, if I say I am pregnant, is it not for you people? The chiefs listened, but they were not moved. Like, what is going on? They said, they just sat down there, like he almost like threw them into confusion. They said the Iwarife, who are the kingmakers and the custodian of the most delicate tradition of Ife, pressed harder. One of them, an elder with a trembling but firm voice, reminded her that in Ife tradition, words are binding. He said, a king's wife is not just a wife, she is a reflection of the throne. If you speak falsely before us, you are not just lying to the chiefs, you are lying to the gods. That warning shook the room, but Ebony still kept her answers twisted. The chief, started murmuring among themselves. Some said this is an admission. She has accepted that the pregnancy, she is pregnant. Others argue, no, she has not accepted anything. She is still hiding under vague word. The Obalufe himself was visibly disturbed because he wanted closure, not cures. He reminded everyone that confusion in the palace is dangerous. It spread like fire in, the marketplace. The most shocking part of the encounter was when Ebony finally said, if the great lion believe I am his wife, then he should trust me without making me face humiliation. At this moment, some chiefs clapped their hands in, as in some chiefs. Some of the chiefs who are supporting her clapped their hands, and others, were very disappointed. One of them says she is still shifting blame back to the great lion, painting herself as the victim to others. That was her indirect way of admitting. Nobody could reach a final conclusion, and the meeting ended without a resolution. That is what they said, though. They said with the way everything went, that nobody could reach a final conclusion. She never said. Outside palace, servants and attendants were whispering in corners. They were just whispering in corners, asking themselves, did Ebony admit or deny? The story spread like wildfire across Ife. Some were saying Ebony has confessed, others counter she never did. She dodged the question. The great lion himself was left with a heavier burden because the one moment that was supposed to bring clarity has now created more division. Meanwhile, on the other hand, other elders were saying they should just let her be, that she is a woman, that she may have, gotten emotional with the way things have gone, that pregnancy does not hide. When the pregnancy not come out, pregnancy will come out now. That was what they were saying. This situation has now placed the elders in a tighter corner. If Ebony's words are taken as an admission, then she must prepare for the full responsibility and consequences that comes with it. But if her words are judged as denial, then she is standing in rebellion against both the great lion and the palace tradition. Either way, it has become clear that Ebony cannot keep dancing around the truth for much longer. The more she dodges, the more she digs herself into a deeper pit. As we are hearing, they say the Obalufe and the chief know that the throne, cannot stand on confusion. Yes, that they know that. That is why they are still pressing for a direct oath before the ancient sword. They are saying that no, they should remove the ancient sword. They don't want the ancient sword. There are other ways, soft landing and a way to fix this that has nothing to do with the ancient sword. I'm going to bring you more update. Do not forget that these are all alleged, rumoured, unverified information making the rounds on social media. Shouldn't be seen as fact.